Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. My dear Taurus, this is a reading for December, January, but with the spin of really having a reflection and message for the end of the year. So I'm planning on doing reading for 2022, which is going to be a large reading. But at the same time, I wanted to sort of separate that message, and I think it's really important to stop for a second and really just look at your energies from the last year, your lessons learned, reasons to celebrate, but really also what you're going to carry over potentially to the next year. And I think that is important because then when we do the reading for the 2022, you have that clear picture of where you were, where you got to, and where you're heading. So I've got some initial cards on the table, and I will be shuffling and adding more as I speak. With this little cute deck. So let's start from here. My dear Taurus, so what I see for you in terms of the energy that you've gone through, the major energy, it's Ace of Wands, beautiful fire energy. And this really signifies some sort of huge new beginning for you. It's almost like your own rebirth. And, you know, there is obviously a lot of fire energy. So this could mean that it's really about rediscovering yourself in a light of passion, in a light of fire, wanting to live, you know, to the full, wanting to feel that spark of life and searching for that spark of life. If you haven't always felt that energy, throughout, you know, the months from start of the year, this could mean that you were searching for it. It's almost like you were hungry for that drive, for feeling alive, for feeling passion. And you know, sometimes that means that you were hit by a lot of emotions or situations that trigger that change in you. You know, I do see a lot of striking lights, and that means that you could literally be also bombarded or tormented even sometimes by a range of situations or people and relationships that have really triggered you. Maybe there was a lot of anger that was triggered, a lot of emotions, then passion, and you know, it's almost as it felt like sometimes you were on the fire. And you know, fire can be experienced in so many ways. This could be destructive, fire could be also inspiring, and fire could also give you that light and hope and warmth, but at the same time it can burn you. So I do feel like you worked a lot with that energy, but ultimately it was all to create some sort of opportunity for you. And you've learned quite a lot, and you should be proud of yourself as well, because first of all, you know, you really discover something about yourself that perhaps has really opened like this, either whether that's your old self or the new self. But I feel like with the Sun card, how do I describe that? Let me put it that way. Even if you had this fire hitting you in the most destructive and unsettling way, you kept positive. You fed your inner child. You nourished yourself. You lifted yourself up. You felt like you have a lot to live for, and you haven't given up. And I think that's what you need to be proud of, because you know, the Sun card, what is telling me here in a position of something that you need to be proud of is that out of all people, all zodiac signs throughout the year, you have kept the most optimistic outlook for life. And it wasn't always easy, but you had this inner child, this hunger in you, and I really feel that, and I feel like I could learn a lot from you, because that drive and that hunger was just keep pushing you forward. And even though sometimes it felt like you couldn't do it anymore, you still woke up every day and you put your clothes on, and you got yourself ready, and you just went for it. And I think that is really amazing, because what that is telling me here is that, you know, with that strength, you really took responsibility for yourself. And the responsibility is something like another thing for you to really celebrate, because yes, you may have taken responsibility for other people too. You may have had a lot on your shoulders, but I think for most of you, that means that you have taken responsibility for yourself. You've taken things in your own hands, and you knew that everything really sits with your own decisions. And you know, look at this this beautiful image here. You have, you know, this shield, and you have the sword, and even though the sword is not pointing directly in order to ready to use, you were ready to protect yourself when you needed. You did that in the most diplomatic, calm way. You claim what's yours, but you also were able to defend yourself when there was a time to defend. And you have this strong goddess bull energy behind you, which means as well that you learn perhaps that a lot of your own abundance and happiness really comes from a feeling that it's really nurtured within you. And you know, full moon, there's something about these three birds that crossing the full moon here on the image. You can see that. I feel like some of you have dealt with either three important situations last year or three important people in your life, or situation involving three people, right? But I really got drawn into that, and that's immediately what I got. So reflect maybe on three major situations or three people that somehow really made some sort of impact on your life last year, something that you had to deal with. And again, in a context of being proud of yourself, I think you did very, very well in those situations, right? So again, just stop for a second and really like celebrate that, like understand that that's a great achievement, the way you handled that situation or these situations. All right. So let's talk about for a second in terms of lesson that you've learned and how that's changed you. And I think that is going to be very important into the next year, that particular card over here, because that's what you're becoming right now based on these experiences. And one of the lessons that you've learned here with the Queen of Cups is, first of all, that you have to trust your intuition, and you actually may be quite intuitive, you might be quite psychic. Some of you may have learned that you have incredible source of creativity within you, that you are very empathic, that you're really sensitive, but that you're also loving, nurturing. And you may have also learned that despite, you know, even though you're very empathic and you have this natural tendency to run and save people and love them and care for them, you also understood somewhere in the way, by the way, my tummy is rumbling, I don't know why. So if you can hear that in the camera, I just want to let you know that's me. Yeah, you may have learned somewhere as well last year that you need to also create healthy boundaries, and that first of all, you come first. It's almost as you put the mask first on you before you put mask on somebody else. That was one of your key learnings. So only because you take care of yourself first, it doesn't mean that you have to give up on the qualities of loving others and understanding and being really out there for others. So that could have been one of the greatest lessons. And you know, here with the mouse medicine and also number 20, which reduces itself to number 2, you may have learned that maybe even if other people see you really small and frightened and unimportant, and I feel like you have experienced situations like this as well, where you haven't really been acknowledged for what you needed to be acknowledged, and you haven't always been perceived in your powers as you should have been. You've learned that you're great, you're powerful, you have quite a lot to yourself in terms of intelligence, quite a lot in terms of sensing situations as well that are not good for you. And the mouse has taught you a lot. And you know, even though sometimes you feel really, really small, you're definitely not small, and you're definitely important, and you are definitely hugely in tune with energies and spirit and yourself. I wonder whether I'm gonna have to record that with my tummy rumbling. This is really embarrassing. I hope you guys can hear it. I'm not really sure. I might have to listen to this video and see how bad it is, and then if it's really bad, I'll just re-record it. All right, my dear Taurus, let's get on to how that's changed you. So with the Two of Cups, now that's amazing, because this is all about love, twin flame, soulmate. And I'm not saying to you that I give you promise that this is what's happened or is about to happen. But what I am telling you here with this card is that you may have changed completely your understanding of relationship and what you're really looking for. And you may have even completely changed in terms of what you want from your partner, your future partner, or your current partner, how you want to experience love. And also there is something about you in that card in terms of like how much you want a lot, like not how much, but how you perceive yourself in a love relationship, but also in the relationship to yourself. There is something around feminine and masculine here in terms of being united together. I wonder whether you're going to start uncovering that power, that balance within yourself going forward. But I can't deny as well that I do see some huge impact on you and how you going to express yourself in relationships with others, especially romantic relationships, let's be honest here. So let me just pull a couple of more cards on this area, because I think it's quite important actually. King of Wands, Ace of Cups, look. So I do feel it's about love, you know, and I do feel like you've learned something into relationship with another person. You know, this person might have quite a lot of fire in them, potentially Leo, Sagittarius. But most importantly, they have taught you an important lesson, whether that was a pleasant or unpleasant lesson. What you're really getting out of it is a completely new, fresh outlook for love. And you know, Ace of Cups is coming in here for you, that it's almost as you becoming ready. You're becoming ready for real love, for the love that is healthy, for love that you can hold your boundaries still at the same time as really freely giving and expressing yourself. So there's a huge learning, especially from one particular relationship that you've experienced. Ace of Wands, look at that. There is also a change in terms of passion and physical intimacy you're going to seek in the next partnership or in your current, but the way is going to transform. So definitely there is an element of the masculine energy here, and the intimacy, passion, and that union between female and male. Again, not gender specific, but just the expression of the female and feminine. There is going to be slightly, well, it's not a slight change, it's a huge change, okay? And two aces crossing the Two of Cups, obviously you're going to have an exciting year, 2022. I mean, what you've learned and how that's changed you is going to open completely new platform for you in terms of love. And this could mean that you will attract completely different people into your life, something that maybe it wasn't really your cup of tea before, but now you've changed, and that means you're going to attract different people. Or maybe that's going to transform completely your relationship that you are in, if you are committed to somebody already. But let's talk for a second about what's been holding you back and what you've ignored last year, because I think, again, you know, you don't want to kind of stay in the energy too long if you're still in it. And I think, you know, with the Hermit card, you had this tendency to isolate yourself a lot, to spend a lot of time on your own, to sit at home. And, you know, there is this kind of like an energy of just being your own emperor and thinking that you have to do everything on your own. And you know, with the Hermit card, you've done obviously a lot of soul searching, which in a way is beautiful, but at the same time sometimes that have put you in a place where you were staying for too long by yourself. It's almost as there is this energy of being stuck, especially at home. If you have been doing that or been experiencing this last year, just know that to some extreme point of that was holding you back from the progress. So just reflect on that. Again, this is not about regrets, but just more about understanding what potentially could be holding you back again this year. And you know, you have been ignoring your own power here with the Princess of Wands. Sometimes you had too many doubts about what you're capable of and what you deserve, because Princess of Wands is one of those beautiful young energies that are very attractive, are very sexual in its expression. They're beautiful, they're hot, you know, they're incredibly smart, they're really magnetic. And sometimes I feel like you've ignored these qualities about yourself. It's almost as you haven't really seen that enough in yourself. You had a lot of maybe insecurities that again were holding you back, but it's more about just really seeing for who you really are, and giving yourself the worth, you know, that the value that you really represent. So don't really put yourself lower than what you really are. That's what I think it's important. A little advice here with the Moon card, especially coming into the 2022 and what we're going to be covering in the next reading. Trust your intuition a little bit more. You have some great psychic abilities with the Moon card. You channel a lot. You may have a lot of dreams. Maybe there's some creativity around you as well that wants to come out. So really, one second, I need to pick up the cards from the floor. So yeah, just know that there is a lot in you that it's really in the kind of unseen realities behind the veil, and you really need to embrace that part of yourself. So let's see what just fall onto the floor. So Two of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so that's quite a lot. So, you know, just be confident, make choices a bit faster. Don't worry too much about feeling incompetent or not good enough. I think, you know, don't waste your time and energy as well on situations and people that are not really flourishing from what you invest in. It's like, I feel like sometimes, you know, you invest too much time and energy in people and situations that don't give you return. So this is a time to change that. This is a time to go out to the world and say, no, I'm actually so amazing that I'm willing to share myself with you, but at the same time I want to see that you putting the same effort, if not more, right? I mean, I'm always about balance here, but there is this kind of learning here and advice. Don't waste your time on things that are not giving you anything in return. And it's not about being selfish, but it's about energy exchange, right? There has to be a flow. It can't just go one way. So, you know, that's something that you have a great chance to change. And at the same time, you know, what I'm seeing here for you, if you're coming to a place of imbalance, of giving a lot but not receiving back, again, you have a tendency to really punish yourself for that. Like everything is in your head. You start thinking that you're not good enough, what's wrong with you. And actually, there's nothing wrong with you, Taurus. You are amazing. You have a victory card. The best thing you can do is to get rid of anything from your environment, from your space, from your energy, from yourself, that it's really not serving you well. And it's not about understanding what's wrong with you, it's about understanding what's great about you and really protecting that, because you are amazing. And especially, you know, with this Sun card over here, you have powerful energy around you. So really see that for yourself and feel that within you, because, you know, love here is in the air. And I think the way you can experience love next year, it's going to be like so eye-opening and heart-opening, and it's going to be so passionate that I can't wait to read the cards for you for 2022. So my dear Taurus, I feel like I'm gonna leave you with this message here. If you have enjoyed the reading, please don't forget to share, like or subscribe, and also comment below if you want to share any thoughts with me. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can also find all the details in the description box below. But for now, I just feel like I'm sending you my love, and I'm really proud of you, and I hope that I will speak to you soon in the next reading for 2022. Take care for now. Bye!